Hi, welcome to Made to Heal with Angela Brown. So, I'm going to talk about Pride and Prejudice. If you haven't seen that movie, it's a good movie. If you like love stories and just it's entertaining. It's been a favorite of my household for years. So, before I get into that, I want to talk about my online course for 18 years old on up. It is a course to help heal spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I dealt with depression, suicidal thoughts, and anger and bitterness, and you name it, a gamut of whole lot of stuff. I didn't have self love, I didn't have self confidence. I was in a mess, and I didn't know how to clear up childhood trauma, and I was victim rather than victor through Christ. And I had no idea the tools that were available out there that I didn't realize and I wasn't able to utilize them. So I've been a Christian my whole life, and although I've been to church my whole life, I just didn't it didn't help in the self-esteem department. I was hearer of the word, but I didn't do. On top of that, that's important, is to be able to do what's being taught, but it's hard to do what's taught when you don't have the proper tools on top of it. So that's what I offer in this 12-week course, are tools that help you move forward in self-love, loving God and others around you, and just really knowing how to connect with your inner child and become the best version of yourself. And so if you're feeling stuck, stagnant, or just not knowing what your purpose is, and this is a course for you. So go ahead and click on the link below. This online course, starts on June 24th and it goes to September 9th. It's every Monday, an hour to an hour and a half long session, and it's all visual, and then you get homework each week, and then I give you a 15-minute one-on-one call to talk to you personally to make it more individualized. So go ahead and click on that link below to check it out. Bring a friend or two with you. It'll be fun. So why I wanted to bring up Pride and Prejudice is because it's been a family favorite for years and years. Me and my daughters, not so much my boys and my husband. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of guys out there that enjoy it too, but it's been a favorite. And my daughter had to write a report on it, and so we just kind of watched the movie as a celebration of her getting it down. And boy, and then she wrote the report, and I got to read through it, and it was really good. And it talks about first impressions, like what kind of first impressions are people leaving, and what do people do when you see a first impression of somebody? We tend, our human nature, our natural man in us, we just want to judge them from the first experience that we have them. And if our first experience with somebody is not pleasant, then we just judge judge them. And we kind of, as humans, as our human nature, we don't give them quite a second chance, especially if it's a complete stranger, right? So it's important that we don't judge. It's not our job to judge. We never know when we're meeting somebody what's going on in the background in their lives. And so just not judging people on first impressions, because sometimes we jump to conclusions. Not sometimes, a lot of times we humans jump to conclusions. Somebody might look so rough on the outside, but yet they have the kindest heart, and they are just doing good things. And so it's easy to fall into the trap of judging off of the first impression you have from somebody. But I'm here to tell you, don't judge somebody from the first impression, nor the 6th or 10th or 12th, right? It's not our job to judge. So it's important that we come from a place of love. And just the saying that I read in um, Brendan Burchard's book, it is called The Manifestation, or The Manifestation Manifesto, something like that. Anyway, um, he talked about seeing others as if they're showing up, and that's the best that they have to offer at that moment, which I truly believe that. We don't know what people are going through spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And, let's be honest, when we're not feeling good, we're not as nice as we are when we're feeling good. And so it's important to come from a place of love and understanding. If we just had that mindset, if we could switch our mindset over to every person we come in contact with, whether it's on the street, whether it's in our homes, whether it's, we don't know, even though we're living with people, we still don't know what's going on in here and here. And it's so important to not jump to the conclusions and to get upset um, and prejudge a situation or a person. And so it's so important to just see people for who they are. And you know what? They are a child of God. Every one of us are children of God, and we all have value. We all have something good to offer this world. And everybody, I mean everybody, the hardest of criminals, the smallest of children, I know I'm going at complete opposites here, and everything in between need love. We thrive on love. Human beings need that touch, physical touch. They need support, words of encouragement, words of affirmation, and just healing. Everybody needs healing. We have these trapped emotions or childhood experiences to where we feel stuck or whatever it is. And so we all have our baggage, whatever you want to call it. We all have our stuff. I just like to say, I'm going to go with the example of chocolate. Most people like chocolate. I personally don't care for it unless it's really, really dark. And most people love chocolate, and I just think, you know what? People are like chocolate. We're sweet. We all have something sweet to offer inside us, but you hold it in your hand and it's just messes and melts and it's messy. But we're all in our own beautiful mess, and we're where we're supposed to be, and people come into our life and talks and songs and books and classes and you name it. Things come our way for a reason, for our healing and growth, and that includes our trials and experiences, and sometimes we can't understand at the moment, but it's so important to be able to just love and let go of all your preconceived ideas and expectations. That's another thing. The expectations that I had, not only on myself, because I was a perfectionist, and perfectionism kind of goes really good in this whole Pride and Prejudice movie. You had to be a certain part, you had to act a certain way, you had to be, a certain way to fit into a certain class of people. And, you know, um, it's important to let go of the perfectionism and let go of your high expectations. It's good to have high expectations. It's good. It's good to have those kinds of things. But when you're placing stress and self-love and pride is getting in the way, then it affects your relationship with God and yourself and others. It's so important to be able to have self-love. And so those expectations that I would put on everybody around me, plus myself, they weren't realistic. They weren't realistic expectations. And so it just drove me down a rabbit hole of never good enough, and my self-worth went down the toilet. So it's important to be able to drop those expectations a little bit, be a little more kind, and look at your expectations and what you're trying to expect out of yourself and go from there. So just see everybody in light of who they really are, and they are children of God. They might be struggling right now. They might be going through a really hard time. They might be angry and upset at the world, at God, at who knows what, for what they're going through. And so just give them your love. Share the light of Christ that you have within and give them that love that they so desperately need. It's the meanest people on the planet, the people that hurt others, the people that are angry, and the people that are bitter. Those are the ones that need God's love the most. And that's what we're here for. We're here to share God's love. So please reach out instead of wanting to lash out and be offended and give it back to people when they are having a hard time. Just remember that love is the answer to all things. Love is the answer, and it's the highest energy and vibration that we can share with others. So it's so important to allow yourself to love and share that love and have other people feel that love. It's important, especially I like to bring this example up all the time because we're always driving, going from here to there, and people cut us off, and we run into instances where we feel like we've been not justly treated. And so it's important to take those situations, instead of wanting to yell at the man that cut you off or the woman, instead to send the thoughts of kindness and love. And, people that cut me off, I think, gosh, they must be in a hurry. I hope they get to their destination. God bless them in their journey today. And I hope everything goes so well for them. Have a prayer in your heart for them. Just have love, nothing but love. Drop the pretenses, drop the expectations, drop the whatever. And I'm telling you, when you drop your expectations for yourself and other people around you, it is such a freeing feeling. It feels so freeing to let that go, because in the end, in the big scheme of things, in the scheme of eternity, they aren't big things, and they're not a do or die situation. You just kind of look at things going, wow, in the big scheme of things, that is not a priority. That is not important. What's important is that I'm sharing my love, that people around me feel happy, accepted, and that's just all we can do, is our best that way. So if you haven't seen, I want to hear what your favorite movies. Gosh, I might be onto something. I might feature some movies that I've watched that have touched me, that have really made me think. I love watching movies that are after a true story, based on a true story, or movies that teach a lesson that make you just really think and want to know, that wants you to reflect on your own life and how you would handle that situation. And anyway, they make you think, those kinds of movies, and those are what I like. And so I'm going to feature some movies, I think, here in the next little bit. So God bless. Share your favorite movie and what you learned from it that you've watched recently. And let's get that going. And please like and subscribe to my channel. Share it to others. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.